Hi guys, so if you're watching this, you've bought my mini plant hanger kit, so thank you for that. This is what it's going to look like. So in your kit you should get a small wooden ring, 6 long pieces of cord and 2 shorter pieces of cord. So to begin, we'll hold the 6 pieces of cord together and pull the hoop through one end, holding both ends and pulling tight so that you have the hoop right in the middle of the cords, and then you can kind of fan them out so it's nice and flat. Okay, now that you've got your cord set up, we're going to do a gathering knot to hold the top in place. So you get one of your extra pieces of cord, hold it in your fist alongside the other 6 pieces, making sure that there's a bit poking out the top, and then you make a loop and hold that loop in your fist. So you've got that little loop at the bottom there. Hold it in your fist and then wrap the remaining cord around all the other pieces of cord. So you're basically making one big coil around all the cord. Okay, so you just keep going until it's as long as you like, or in this case I run out of cord, and then you take the end and you pull it through the loop and then pull on the top of the cord, which then pulls the loop into the coil, and then you can just kind of pull on both ends, which pulls the knot nice and tight. Okay, and then you'll find that the knot has gone into this coil. You'll feel it's got tighter. And then what you can do is just get your scissors and cut away the excess. And this little bit here as well. And then, because it's quite baggy at the top here, you can just take each piece of cord and pull it nice and tight so that the knot goes right to the base of the hoop, and you have a nice clean start to your hanger. Okay, and now you can just get the blunt end of your scissors and just use it to push the excess bit of the cord that you cut. You can kind of just push it up into the coil so it's nice and neat and you can't see the ends. Okay, so now we're going to split your cord into 3 groups of 4. Just choose the 4 that are next to each other. Doesn't really matter what ones are what. And we're going to do 3 lots of spiral knots starting in the middle. Okay, so to do your spiral knot, you need to find 2 outer pieces from your 4. It doesn't really matter which one is which. And you're going to be tying these 2 outer pieces around the central 2 pieces. So to do that, we'll take the left outer piece and lay it over the 2 central pieces, and then you go under the outer right piece, and then taking that right piece, we go under the central 2 pieces and then pull it through the gap and pull it tight. So that's one spiral knot or half knot. And then we'll just keep doing that over and over again until you've got a row of spiral knots about 10 centimeters or about a finger's length. As you keep working, the spiral will try and turn around, so just try and keep turning it round to face you as you work. Okay, so we've done one row, and now we're going to do the same for these two. Okay, so now you have your 3 rows of knots, but what you'll find is that the outer 2 pieces of cord are now a lot shorter than the inner 2, because you've been using them to do all these knots. So before we continue, we need to swap them. So now the outer 2 will become the inner 2, and the inner 2 the outer 2, and that will just stop you running out of cord. So now, using these 2 outer pieces of cord, we're going to do a square knot. So start off by measuring about what you've done. That's how much of a gap you want to leave. And we'll do the square knot. So start off by doing what you've done for the spiral knot, and then what you do is you go back the other way. So starting with the right cord this time, you go over and under, and then back through with the left cord, so basically doing it in reverse. So that's 1 square knot, and then we want to do 6 of these, and then we'll do it the same for the other 2 cords. So this is a lot easier if you have something to pull against, if you hook your hanger on something, because you see like this, I keep pulling it down every time I do a knot. So that's just a tip for you. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again for this side. Again, switching, but this time take extra caution that the knot is at the same length as your other one, because it will look funny if they're different lengths. So we go back and do our square knot. So starting with the left to right, checking, hold it tight, and then go back on the right, and then pull it tight, and then check again to check that it's okay. And actually looking at this, that's too low, it's going to look funny. So you can just unpick that last knot really easily, and then just shimmy your knot up a bit and check again. Pulling them tight helps you to see how it's going to be when they're kind of taut. So yeah, pull it tight, that looks a lot better. So now I'll go back and finish off the knot. Looking at that now, that looks much better. So I will now carry on and do the 5 other square knots. Okay, so I've done the same for the 3rd lot of cord. So now you have your 3 square knots, equal lengths, and now you kind of pull your shape into the triangle to see how it's going to hang. Find 2 pieces that you know are going to be next to each other and how they're going to lay, and then spread it out and just try and figure out what way it's going to lay, because it's quite funny with this cord, it can twist around. So just try and figure out what way it's going to look. Okay, and then when you know what way it's going to face, you can take the right 2 pieces from the left cord and the left 2 pieces from the right cord, and we're then going to do another square knot. So these 2 become the inner pieces, and then these 2 will become the outer 2 pieces. So we'll just do that now. So you want about a couple of inches gap before you do your knot. Just doing 1 square knot this time. Kind of pull it up to where you want it to be. Go back the other way. So now lay it flat and we're going to do the same knot with the next two pieces. So these will be the inner ones and these will be the outer ones. And this time when you do your square knot, before you pull it tight, check that it's the same level as your other one, because you want them all to be at the same level. Then you want to turn it around and take the last two pieces on each side, bring them round so you know what way it's going to turn, and then that way you'll know which ones will be the inner two, because they'll be the two closest together, and then the two on the outside will be the outer two. So we'll just take those together and tie the outer two around, making sure that it's in length in line with the other two knots. Okay, so you've nearly done all the knots. We're just going to finish it off with another gathering knot. So hold all the cord in your fist. We're going to do the same thing we did at the top, down here. So you want the same gap here, down here, same length. So where you want the knot to start, hold your fist and get your last piece of spare cord and grab that in your fist as well, so you've got the top poking out, and then you're going to make a loop, bring the loop back up and hold it in your fist, so you've got the loop down at the bottom here and this poking out at the top, and then hold it all in your fist and start wrapping around again, and make sure you wrap quite tight. Okay, when you've finished wrapping it round, you will then bring the end of the cord through the loop and then pull on the top, holding the cord if you can, and pull the top again until the knot goes into the coil. Put it nice and tight, and then you can grab both ends again and pull it just to make sure the knot's really tight. And then that is your knot done. The knot's in the center now and it should be really tight. And then if you just get your scissors again, you can cut the spare end and just push it up into hide the knot. And then the same with the top as well. Just push it in with the blunt end of your scissors. And that is your hanger. You can then just cut the excess cord where you like, and then that is you done. You can then get a nice little pot that will fit in perfectly. I recommend a 10cm diameter one, just because it will fit really nicely with these measurements. And the ideal plant for this would be a nice trailing one, like a string of pearls or string of coins. Please let me know how you got on with this video. I would love to see your pictures, and thank you so much for buying this kit.